Jason, what do you think of the?
Wait. We'll use the roving mic. Sorry, Tim.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Tim Cato with The Athletic. Jason, what do you think of the guard play from Spencer and Jalen?
They were great this afternoon. Again, offensively and defensively, they found guys, got shots, but our defense gave us a chance to win this game. So a lot of good stuff, not just from those two, but from the team.
What did you think about, you're obviously without Luka, your primary shot there, your team took two creative looks?
Yeah, I thought we could be better. That'll be an area that we'll talk about tomorrow because there's a lot of wide open looks for us. We just, I think, have to be a little bit patient. But, again, the looks that we got, coming down the stretch, we normally make those, and that's just a game of basketball. Sometimes they go in, sometimes they don't. But I thought overall, we slowed the game down, and we gave ourselves a chance to win without Luka, and that just shows a sign of a good team.
I want to ask about the Brad Townsend down this morning. I want to ask you about the rebound disparity, and O'Neal getting the last putback. What can you guys do to sort of compensate their size advantage and also not having Luka, one of your best defensive rebounders?
Yeah, I think we talked about it before the game and through the week. We got to rebound the ball. We got them to miss. We have to do a better job as smalls to come back and help. That's something, again, that we knew that was going to be an issue, especially playing small. But I thought the guys fought. And so that's just, something that we got to get better at. If we can do that, that hopefully puts us in a better seat to win.
Tim Cowlishaw, Dallas Morning News. Even though Donovan didn't have a great shooting night, what happened in the third quarter? Do you think you lost control a little bit there when you had 19 points?
No, a lot of them were twos. I think when you look at what they do well, is shoot the three. And twos in this league, it can help you win, but when you're a team that shoots the three, they're the number one offensive team in the league. And so the things that we did defensively without Luka being able to rebound for us and participate defensively, I thought the game plan was great. They didn't score 100 points. And when you do that in today's basketball, that tends to give you a chance to win. But we just didn't have enough offensive power, down the stretch.
Tim Cato, The Athletic. Especially in the second half, you cycled through a lot of options at center, a lot of different lineups with different looks at center. What led you to mostly closing the game with Maxey?
Yeah, we wanted to, get Maxey. He hasn't been playing of late, and we wanted to get him some minutes. And I thought he made a big three for us, and then had another great look at a three that just didn't go down for us. But he's a big part of our team, and we're going to need him. And I thought just kind of keeping the 5 different looks, with us going small, and then also having Maxey out there just to get his feet wet. And I thought he did a great job for us this afternoon.
Tim McMahon yesterday, you mentioned threes is something you do really well. Obviously, they also give really a lot of dunks, a lot of lobs. How are you? Usually, you can take maybe one or the other. How are you guys able to take away both of those?
Oh, it's tough. Those guys, we're small, and we got to compete, and that's what they did. They played hard. We know that they like to throw the lob. The first play was a lob for Rudy. So I thought Reggie did a great job of cracking back. But, in this game, you're going to give up something. And the things that we try not to give up are the lobs and the threes. And we'll concede the twos in the sense of contest, not just give them twos, but we want to make them work. And that's what they did this afternoon.
Dwayne Price from Mavs.com. What did you do in particular, Jason, to run off the 3-point line? 15 out of 22.
That's the thing we talked about. They're the number one offensive team for a reason. They cause a problem, and I thought the guys, did a great job of making conscious effort of running off and protecting one another, and that's what it takes at this time of the year if you want to win. You got to make the extra hustle, and I thought the guys did a great job this afternoon with that.
Mac Engel, Fort Worth Star-Telegram. In light of the way you guys shot the ball, Coach, do you feel that that's a game you normally win?
You never know. We always feel like we have a chance if you hold a team under 100 points. But in the playoffs, and both teams are not going to play extremely fast. So this could be 2000 basketball for this series where teams aren't scoring over 100 points.
Tim McMahon, ESPN. Obviously a huge challenge without Luka. What do you think of the quality of shots you guys were able to generate tonight?
I mean, probably a little worse than like when he's in, but we got some open looks in the corner for like Maxey, Josh. You know, Block hit a couple threes. I mean, shoot, like we had a chance to head them under 100 points. You know, so that was tough.
Brad Townsend, Dallas Morning News, big rebounding disparity, which, you know, not surprising considering you guys are playing smaller lineups.
Yeah.
What can you guys do to compensate, you know, collectively to do better in the next round and next game?
Yeah, just sandwich rebound. Everybody got to get back, get in there. You know, we got to send 5 guys to the boards as opposed to their, you know, 2, 3. You know, we know Royce O'Neal's probably going to crash from the corners. Bogey may crash. And obviously Gobert and Whiteside are going to be in there. We just got to send all 5, make sure we get the defensive rebound.
Mr. Eddie Seth, Mass.com. Is this just kind of the way, harsh reality that you take away 29 points a game, it's going to be hard to score?
Yeah, I mean, I think also personally, I mean, think about it, we lost by 6. I missed 6 free throws, right? We right there. So if anything, right, this should be encouraging for the fan base, in my opinion, right? Like we're disappointed in the locker room. This isn't a game that we felt like, and obviously give them credit. Like they went out there and won the game. Bogdanovich played great. Mitchell played great. But like we had our chance to win it, and we just didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Myself, obviously, first and foremost. Like it's inexcusable in a playoff game to miss 6 free throws, and obviously if you make those, given the time period, you know, when they're coming down and hitting those shots with 2 minutes, 1 minute to go, they're down 4. You know what I'm saying? They're cutting it to 2. You know what I'm saying? Now we're the ones holding the ball, getting fouled, things like that. So it flips the game. So, you know, all in all, looking at it, like I said, you knock down 1 more corner 3, things of that nature. Like, and with them having their 2 best scorers both go for 30 basically, and still holding them under 100, I think, you know, overall, like there's a lot of room for optimism.
Tim Cato, The Athletic. When Bertans was in the lineup, you were able to pull Rudy out to the perimeter.
Yeah.
In a few instances, I know you had one drive where he was guarding you in the corner. Do you feel like that's something you guys could or should be trying to do more as the series progresses?
I mean, I think it's not just DB. I think Maxey has that effect being a pick and pop big. I think when we go small, that'll also happen because he might be matched up on Dodo. You know, lineups and matchups, like obviously that's Coach Kidd's, you know, area. That's not on me. But we do know stylistically, right? Like he likes to be in the paint. And so if you put a shooter, it draws him out and, you know, forces their defense to have a little bit different look. But we'll see as the series goes on. Still very early.
Dwayne Price, Mass.com. You guys held Donovan to 2 points there in the first half. Scored 19 in the third quarter. What happened in the third quarter? You know,
I mean, he really started to assert himself. Was really deliberate getting into the game. At the same time, I think overall, right, he shot 30 times and had 10 free throws as well. So there's a lot of volume there to get to the 30 that he got. You know, obviously phenomenal player, all-star, all those things. But collectively, you know, holding that team under 100 points, again, is a good sign. We have to do our part offensively to score more than 100 points.
Callie Kaplan with the Dallas Morning News. They're down the stretch in that clutch. What's the feel or what's the communication like when you don't have Luka out there in terms of who's going to be kind of taking those shots and getting those first looks and just kind of figuring that out when you don't have that go-to guy like he is?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we talked about the playmaking hierarchy on our team. So it's going to fall on me and JB to make plays, and that's whether obviously scoring or passing the ball, and just making the reads, getting the matchups right, getting the spacing right, and just staying in attack mode.
Dwayne Price, Mass.com. You guys on the shot 38% from the good. Like, what did they do?
Gotta give them credit. They followed the game plan, made things difficult. We missed a lot of easy looks. We had a lot of great looks. Yeah, we just missed them.
Beat you by 19 on the boards, and how do you clean that up and kind of close that gap going into this game?
Just focus on getting Rudy off the glass. I think it's the biggest part of it. Him having 15 boards is a lot. So 15 defensive rebounds, but he's got a game rebound. I think that's a carryover. He's got a game rebound.
Tim Cato with The Athletic. Obviously, what Rudy does defensively is do a good job pushing you guys away from the rim and into floaters and mid-range. How would you assess you guys' ability and you specifically, how you guys adapted to that and what you can do better going forward this series?
Yeah, I think we got to do a better job of making the easier shots. Now we missed a lot of easy shots and made a lot of hard shots. So yeah, we just gotta keep our focus when it comes to that. He's a great defensive player for a reason. He's won Defensive Player of the Year awards for a reason. So just gotta follow our game plan and stick together.
Callie Kaplan with the Dallas Morning News. Jalen, what changes about communication or approach in clutch time when you don't have Luka out there in terms of figuring out who's going to take a shot or when, or just kind of how the offense is going to be initiated? If that makes sense.
Yeah, we're just playing basketball. There's no telling who's shooting what and where. It's kind of just putting us in positions to make plays for one another. And Coach Kidd, he gives us that ability and that confidence. So it's not really telling people to do what and where. It's more of us just playing out there and kind of reading off each other.
SethFilmAds.com. What Spencer had mentioned the hierarchy of playmaking without Luka, but you take away 29 points, it's obviously going to be harder to score. How do you guys go about generating more offense in game two?
I think, like I said before, gotta make our easy shots. We've had a lot of shots in the mid-range area that missed, rimmed out, that I myself normally make or others normally make. They made it difficult for us, but at the same time, we can concentrate a little better, including myself. So just our level of focus and our attention to detail just got to bring that up a little bit for game two.
Louis Scruggs, NBC5 Dallas. Jalen, is there anything you can take away from that fourth quarter when you guys came back that you can take into game two?
Yeah, there's a lot we can take away from this game. I think our defense gave us an opportunity to win this game. Offensively, we missed a lot of shots. I missed a lot of shots, but our defense gave us a chance to win this game. So we just focus our defense and pay attention to those details a little more. Those little details can be the difference between a win and a loss.
Can you put your finger on what Donovan was doing in the second half? He had 2 points in the first and then 30 in the second.
Yeah, he's pulling the ball in the hole. He got hot. Plain and simple.
We got two on Zoom really quick. Luke, go ahead.
Luke Askew, Mavs Moneyball. Jalen, the intent of focusing on the positives, you were talking about how you thought the defense was good, and Spencer was saying the same thing when he was in here. But focusing on the offensive end, what were some things you saw that you liked or that you felt good about that you can maybe focus on attacking going into game two?
It's a good question. I think for me personally, I've prided myself of being consistent and efficient my entire life. And so I think going into game two, smarter, taking better shots, being more efficient, for me personally is definitely going to be a key. I'm just going to have to go back and watch a little more, be a student of the game and learn from this.
Last one, Christos.
Hey, Jalen, hope you're doing well, first of all. You mentioned before that the judge made it difficult for you. What you need to do from your side as a team to make it difficult for them, and how important is to set the tone from your defensive end once again on game two?
I'm going to need you to repeat that second question in a second, but For us, I mean, defensively we did a lot of good things. I mean, we held Donovan to 1 for 9 first half, something like that. We just got to do a better job of finishing possessions and getting stops, and especially in the fourth, and when we need it, and we can't play catch up. And what was your second question?
How important for you is to set the tone from your defensive end once again on game 2?
Yeah, I think we're just going to have to do a lot of the things that we did tonight in game 2, but focus on the little things a little more as well. We can play great defense, but if we don't finish it with a rebound, it goes to waste. So we just got to focus on the little things and just stick together. It's going to be a long series.
Dodo, how do you keep them off the board? I mean, you beat you by 19, and how do you get that turnaround going to win this game?
That was one of the things Coach talked about. Was rebounding, and you really just got to keep them off the offensive glass. Them second chance points is be big, especially when they threes.
Are you talking that particular one that Ross O'Neal made of the second chance point?
Nah, but they hit another one in the first half too. I think Bogdanovich hit one too. So, and that's what we trying to do. Keep them off 3-point line. But they got big fella out there, so they're taking 2 of us to box him out. So it's gonna be a free. Sometimes it's gonna be a freebie out there.
Tim Cato with The Athletic. Like you said, you guys were really sticking to the 3-point series and not helping off as much, but you also didn't give up, Rudy, alley-oops, things like that. Relatively kept them out of the paint, or at least right from the rim. How would you assess the defensive performance specifically in that aspect of forcing them into mid-range stuff?
I think our defense gave us a chance, regardless of the rebounding. I think we still gave ourselves a pretty good chance to win the game. We make a couple more threes, free throws, and it'll be a different story. But they were the better team tonight, and we're gonna try to get this one on Monday.
Eddie Sutcliffe and Mavs.com. Dorian, other than getting 29 points coming back off the bench, how do you jumpstart the offense and generate some points?
Just gotta, like I said, we got open shots today. Regardless, Maxey got some shots. He looked, Spence got some great looks. I got great looks. Josh got great looks. Josh hit 2 of them threes. It'll be a different game again. So, we just got to move the ball and keep guarding. Keep guarding, because it's the playoffs. One loss kind of feel like the world ending, but it's just a loss. We'll try to get this one Monday.
Jazz do anything differently in the second half to free Donovan a little bit more?
No, he just came out a little bit more aggressive. But that's what the best player on the team do. Especially playoff time. They keep shooting even when they ain't making shots, and he started making shots. I feel like we held him down first half, but second half he kept shooting and he made shots. Who?
Luka. Being the 10th coach and very vocal. How did he try and stay involved with you guys today? Obviously, I saw him chatting with the refs a few times, but in terms of helping you guys and just kind of sharing what he can and how he can't be out there.
Just telling us to stay together. Especially when they went up. I think it was up 9. 9 and 8 in the fourth quarter. He was telling us, we still could win the game. And I think that really helped us too, because we battled. We battled all the way to the end. And Royce O'Neal hit a big shot. I think that was a real big shot. He didn't make a shot all game to that one. So, if we guard like we did tonight, we'll give ourselves a chance next game.